Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at top of the blogs today. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all.
All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store.
This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. Well, if the chubby knees and the thick thighs and the braided cornrows and the big shirts had not already let you know what was going on with Ashanti, well, then you'll be happy to know that Ashanti and Nelly announced yesterday officially that she is indeed infanticipating. And I don't even know if I can say infanticipating because one, we already knew she was pregnant, and two, baby, that baby looked like it's fixing to come tomorrow. So I guess she finally was just like, let me let the folks know. We've seen how people have handled their announcements of their pregnancies. They don't owe any of that to us. So it's just what it is, just what it is, you know. Here I go with social media again, but you know, the fact that so many other people now can weigh in and have an opinion about your pregnancy, even though people still do it, even if you don't say anything. But, you know, I guess she's just protecting her peace and, you know, child, it's whatever. But like I said, she is infanticipating. Not only that, you guys, but they're saying that Nelly finally got down on his knee and popped a question to the girl, okay? And I was just like, boy, that's what happens when you stand on the business. All right, I know some people gonna be like, how she stand on the business? She still got pregnant before she got married. Y'all do shit out of order. Okay, I'm still happy that she's getting married. You know, when they were together back in the early 2000s, you know, they never really made it official and let folks know, even though most people knew that they were a couple. But again, social media, the internet was not what it was back then. So there was no way for you to really be seeing them out there and all that unless you happen to see them in person. But we still knew that they were together. They kept it pretty much on the hush. But when they broke up, you know, we found out rumors were swirling that Ashanti wanted more. She wanted to get married. She wanted to settle down. And Nelly was not with it. He still wanted to live his life and all that. And so they broke up. And I think all that shit was going on with Murder Inc. And it was a lot of stress on their relationship and all that. You know, after that happened, Ashanti pretty largely kept her love life and her dating life out of the, you know, out of the nosy folks and just lived that part of her life quietly. Nelly, I'm assuming, went on and dated other people. You know, his most known relationship that lasted for any amount of time that we all knew about was with Miss Jackson. And they were together for however many years that they were together. But I think that relationship kind of prepared him a little bit more. Like Miss Jackson got him ready for his real love, you know. But I think that actually prepared him for being in a committed relationship. Because you guys know, for a while, Nelly had, you know, y'all can't forget about the accusations a la Trey Songz that kind of similar to what Nelly, you know, what they used to say about Nelly. I don't want to bring it up now because, I mean, I guess I did. But, you know, this is a happy occasion. He hasn't been found guilty of nothing, and we don't even talk about that stuff anymore. Him and Miss Jackson ended up breaking up, and then we saw when the pandemic hit and they were having the versus battles, and when we saw him and Ashanti hug on the side of the stage at that one versus battle, I don't even know who was battling who. But maybe it was Ja Rule had something to do with it. But anyway, when they hugged each other, even then, the way that they were smiling and hugging, I was just like, well, oh, now what is this? Y'all know the heart wants what it wants. You know, you can kind of put stuff on the back burner and you can deny it. But if your shit is meant to be, I know it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's true. If it was meant to be, then you will be with that person. Okay, you ain't got to be going through all of these trials and tribulations trying to get to that person. If it was meant to be, then you will be with that person. So after that happened, I kind of feel like a few things was happening that kind of pushed them together. Even Irv Gotti you know, maybe he might even be responsible for some of the reasons that they ended up back together. Because when Irv Gotti came out and was saying all that foul ass shit about Ashanti, in a kind of aha nigga, this is what you get, you just mad, you just jealous and all this, we saw that Nelly and Ashanti actually performed something together. Okay, and I don't know, maybe that might not have even happened had Irv not been, you know, hating on the girl as much as he, or on their relationship as much as he had been. So, and I'm talking about Ashanti and Nelly's relationship, not Ashanti's and Irv Gotti's relationship. If he hadn't been hating on Ashanti and Nelly so much, they might not have even have gone there. After that, we started to see them together more and more, you know, and then it was pretty clear that these two had gotten back together, you know, and it was just, they just seemed so happy and smitten with each other, as big teeth and big mouths and gaps and wide open laughing, and you know, they just looked really happy together. Ashanti always seems like they both seem like they are already normally happy, upbeat folks. And yeah, the fact that they made it back together, it just did my heart good, you guys, because now it seems like Nelly is ready to settle down. And look, ladies, I'm gonna just tell you, you don't want to be with a man who ain't ready. You don't want to be with a man who ain't ready, because you already know what happens. And quite frankly, a woman needs to be ready too. So it's not just on the man, but it usually needs to be the man that finally makes that decision. Most of the time, women already know whether or not they want to be with you, okay, in that capacity. So yes, he has decided. He asked her to marry him. They're engaged. This baby should be coming any fucking day now. She said that she's so happy. That's just been such a great season of love and change and happiness in her life. And you know what? Good for her. Good for her. I really am happy to see that these two made it back together. You guys, love wins. All right, yeah, everybody. So a lot of people had a lot to say about the fact that Dr. Heavenly had blasted CarlosKing in their, you know, they have that little talk show that they do together on YouTube. And Dr. Heavenly, you know, with her messy self, was like, how about we talk about the fact that you was only paying them people $2,500, okay? And Carlos did laugh it off. Oh, hey, we ain't gonna talk about that. We not talking about that. And I was just thinking to myself, like, how much y'all thought these people made? So the whole talk is, CarlosKing and his production company apparently only pays the Love and Marriage, at least when we talking about Love and Marriage DC people, they are only making somewhere around $2,500 or less than $2,500 an episode. And I was just like, yeah, well, that sounds about right. I mean, who told us this years ago from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? I want to say maybe it was Mimi. It was somebody from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta that was talking about how much or how little they actually do get paid for these shows. You know, you don't make Bravo money. All right. CarlosKing is on OWN Network, which is not making the kind of money that Bravo is. And quite frankly, even Bravo don't pay like they used to. But, you know, I guess people were thinking, because back in the day, Bravo used to pay these housewives millions of dollars. I mean, it was all the talk back then. We all knew that them girls was getting paid big bank, okay? But now even Candy has told us that they don't get paid like that. And even Nene told us that they don't get paid like that anymore. And now they do get paid per episode, or how many times that they show up on the season or something like that, that they change like the pay scale of these girls. So that's probably why it's easier now for a lot of these housewives to walk away, because they ain't even making the money that they used to. And then you mean to tell me I got to be getting pulled and dragged over the coals and stressed out and arguing and fighting and talking to the people, you know, the viewers, fighting with them and getting threatened, our lives and all that, and just for a little bit of money? Now, I'm sure Bravo was paying their girls more than $2,500 a episode or whatever. But what I'm saying is, ain't nobody making that kind of money no more. But then when you turn around and you saying CarlosKing is only paying $2,500 an episode to, you know, his personalities on his show, I'm just like, yeah, that sounds about right. And just like a minimum wage, that shit ain't went up, because I feel like Mimi or whoever it was that told us before even said back then that it wasn't even that much. So $2,500 is not a big raise, you know, for the 10, 15 years that we really been watching these reality shows like this. So not surprising at all. Yeah, them people actually, and that's why when you be looking at these shows and you see people just be completely selling out their relationship and selling out their morals and doing and saying and acting a fool and all that, and then you turn around and be like, you done did all that for a $10,000 season, like, you know, or $20,000 season. And then when Uncle Sam get a hold of that, you know, he done took 40% off of that, nigga. You done acted a fool for what, $16,000? And, you know, but people do it because a lot of people want to be on TV, okay? And they will hope that them being on TV will parlay, you know, that's a platform that they can use to make more money. So, I mean, I see why people get it, but sometimes it's not, it's just definitely not worth it. You know, there's a video that's going around that shows that Winter was on some podcast and she was telling them that she couldn't really give the particulars of how much they make, but she said that it's not more than $2,500. And even when Monique was on Carlos's show, you know, Monique and Chris, they weren't making more than $3,000, okay, an episode. Again, you also have to put in consideration that, yeah, OWN doesn't make the kind of money that Bravo does, and I'm sure that Carlos doesn't, you know, his production team don't have as much money as Shed Media or whoever the production team that deals with the Real Housewives. And so, yeah, I mean, there's always all these differences. Yeah, so that's why you be looking at it, you be like, girl, you done did all that for this? Like, it's not even worth it. But yeah, it's worth it for some people. But yeah, not surprising. These people ain't making buku money. They ain't making buku money. Okay? And the only way that they can make sure that they get on camera is usually to be some sort of scandal or some kind of extra person so that they can get more money for more episodes. Okay? So that's how it works. Nothing surprising there, you guys. Even though Monique and them did that show for $3,000. Talk about a step back. But that'll let you know Monique wanted to be on somebody's show. Okay? But I guess she finally decided that it wasn't worth it. It definitely wasn't worth it for Monique and them. You know, and Monique, they already had money. So that lets you know she just wanted to be on TV. You know, they just wanted to be on TV. So, no surprises there, y'all. Next story. All right, you guys, actually, this story is pretty sad. Sad all the way around. Just a whole full tragedy. But 61-year-old Uber driver Lolitha Hall was shot multiple times by 81-year-old William Brock in South Charleston back on March 25th. Now, apparently, these two were caught up in some sort of scam. You guys know there are so many scams that really just come through your phone. People are sending messages, text messages, emails, calling your phone, and trying to somehow get access to your money. And a lot of times they prey on the elderly because the elderly are not phone savvy. They don't know about all these different scams. And so what ended up happening was apparently some scammers called William Brock, 81 years old, and told him that, okay, he has a nephew that's in jail, and they told him that they were going to kill him and his nephew unless William Brock gave him gave the scammers, but William Brock didn't know they were scammers, remember that, $12,000. Okay, now I'm sure that William Brock was probably real nervous and didn't know what the hell was going on. Then the scammers then called. You guys know how Uber has the service where you can actually deliver. You can get, they kind of are like couriers as well. So you can, for instance, Jada had some hair delivered to the house, and then she needed it where she was, and so she had Uber come and pick up the hair that came in the mail, delivered to the house, and they actually drove it to where she was. Okay. So, so what the scammers did is they called Uber, and, you know, Lolitha, Miss Hall, just randomly was the person that was chosen to go and pick up the package. The package being the $12,000 that this Mr. Brock was supposed to be getting together for the nephew. Okay. And so she took the delivery, and she drove to Mr. Brock's house. Now, when she got there, you know, 81 years old, scared and shit. Also, this is a black woman in South Charleston. I mean, I ain't even got to tell you that. He sees her, and he goes out there with the gun, and he tells her, holds her at gunpoint and was just like, give me your phone, give me your shit and tell me who sent you here. All right. Well, of course, Miss Hall didn't know what he was talking about. Uber sent me here and I'm supposed to be picking up this package. She didn't know that some scammers had called him and said to give $12,000. So he's not believing her and he's got the gun and all of that. And so, of course, she starts to walk away like, okay, let me just leave this dangerous situation. So she gets to her car. He follows her to her car. He's never called the police, mind you. Now, he's had a phone and everything. He hasn't called the police. But when he follows her to her car, he actually shoots her. And that's when they get into a confrontation. They start fighting. He shoots her 2 more times. And then that's when he finally calls the police. And the police come out there. When they get there, he's bleeding out of his head and scratches and shit. And then she is multiply wounded, so they rush her to the hospital. She ended up dying at the hospital. And then this is when they found out about the whole scam of the story. And just a tragedy. Okay, this woman is dead who just was trying to make a living, and happened on this on this porch of this man who 9 times out of 10, you 81, you in the South, you can put 2 and 2 together and pretty much assume that a black woman showing up on his steps, already feeling the way that he feels, it was not going to be a good situation there. I'm not, I don't know if the man was prejudiced or not, but okay. Now he done killed this lady and he owed and got the fucking phone and all that. And this kind of story scares me about my father. Now, my father is he still has his mind 100%. Okay. So, and he be up on shit. He be watching the news and all that. But still, you still worry about, being preyed upon, your loved ones when they get older, being preyed upon, because they just not as savvy. You ain't got to worry about my daddy, because my daddy don't fuck with the phone. You can't, that nigga won't even have a damn phone on. I'm calling. I finally got to call my brother like, Brian, can you go check on dad? Because I've been calling for a week and the shit keep going straight to voicemail. Then when you talk to dad, he be like, oh yeah, I didn't charge it. You ain't charge it for a week, Dad? No, my dad just don't be wanting to be bothered half the time. Okay. But yeah, you got to make sure you check on your elderly, especially. Even elderly and young folks, because we also know of kids falling for a lot of these weird pranks and losing money and getting in dangerous situations as well. So yeah, you guys just need to make sure that you guys keep everybody abreast of the situation, especially with this AI now. And they can clone voices and all that. Shit is scary. You got to be up on your P's, your elemental P's and Q's. Okay, so yeah, sad. He was arrested. And I wonder what's going to happen there. At the end of the day, this woman is dead. So even though the story is sad and the man didn't know and all that, we can't just let it go that he killed somebody. So that's also a sad situation. This man going to be 81 years old and might land his ass in jail. Okay, so yes, it's just bad. But make sure you guys let your elderly and your young folks especially know that these scams, they are out there and everybody needs to be careful. Lastly, you guys, Sierra. What's that child's name? Is her last name Gates? Sierra, that used to be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Or is on the show. I don't know. I don't watch the show anymore. I guess she's still on the show. Y'all, let me tell you how much that video aggravated me the other day. Did you guys see the video that was uploaded on her Instagram? Well, y'all, let it be known that I was officially entered into the hospital. And I just want to let you know that, so the leg cream, the tattoo cream, it do work. But I would say that, nobody needs to get like a whole, like how I did. I had got a tattoo from my waist all the way down to the end of my leg. And it do work. Like you probably shouldn't get a tattoo. Like you could get a tattoo like mine, but it's not really, like, if you gonna use, like, the cream really do work. Bitch, are you? Listen, we not a kick a bitch when we down kind of bitch over here. I done told y'all that. You know, the girl is in the hospital. She's obviously very sick. If you saw that fucking tattoo and how much fucking ink it was and how huge it was, I mean, why are tattoo artists doing this where they do a whole leg tattoo in one day? I don't give a fuck even if the girl said that she was going to be fine. Ultimately, the tattoo artist should be the one to say, oh no, we're not doing that. All right? Because you could actually be poisoned. I mean, all that black tattoo that she could have had so much ink poisoning from that. I mean, they tell you, at least they supposed to tell you, just from a smaller tattoo, you can get sick from all that ink going into your skin. So just the fact that I saw that leg tattoo and all that, I was just like, why did a tattoo artist do that? But she probably was like, I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. You know, it's not gonna be nothing, blah, blah, blah. And he ended up doing it. I'm sure she spent a good amount of money too, because that fucking tattoo was a whole lot going on there, you know. But girl, get off these people, internet. You working with the fucking physical therapist doctor trying to learn how to walk again, and you up here still telling us about this tattoo fucking cream? It was one thing if you was gonna get on the damn camera and just be like, y'all, I made a mistake. Make sure that you don't make the mistake that I did. I got this tattoo. I should have never did it. You up here still doing a damn slight commercial for the fucking tattoo cream. It do work. But you can't walk. What working was it doing? I was so frustrated. I was just like, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Had that been Jada, I'd have been like, get that bullshit. Take that shit down. Obviously, I don't want to see the girl not being able to walk or something, but that was a way more serious situation. And then, of course, when I said something about it on Shade Room, somebody gonna come in the fucking comment and say, well, people know they body and they know how they gonna react. And I was just like, you know what? I can't even argue with stupidity like that. Okay, because yeah, there's one thing to know your body, but then there's also called a medical reaction to something when you actually chose to put your own self in fucking danger by doing that. You know, maybe she didn't know better, and I'll give her that. Maybe she did not know that all that ink going into your skin would make you feel, you know, be poisoned. And I mean, the girl could not walk. Did you see the video? She couldn't walk. Even though she might have not known better, what I'm saying is don't still be making light of it. I just was like, oh, Lord, Sierra, child, Sierra. Okay, but it do work. It do work. I'm going to just tell you guys this. Take it from a person that has 10 tattoos. Okay? Do not get huge artwork done on your body all in one setting. Spread that shit out. Yes, I know that we be impatient and we want shit right when we want it. This is called the microwave popcorn generation. But there are some things that's just gonna stay the same. You put all that fucking ink in your body, you're gonna get sick. Do not do that. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Sierra, I hope you feel better soon. All right, you guys, that's it. I'm going to get on off of here. I'm at McDonald's. Y'all probably can't see, child, but I'm at McDonald's fixing to give me a Big Mac. I know it's sushi day, but I can't fuck with no sushi today. Bitch is hungry. I need some food. And I don't want to spend $30 trying to get full off sushi. So let me get on this drive-through real fast and take it on back to work. You guys, we do this every single week. So make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars.